day, everyone. My name is Giselle Ficalunsag, and I'm going to report the phenomenology of love, of what is love. The question has been asked since the time of Plato, not only by professional philosophers, but by people from all walks of life. So, what is love? Love is one of core concerns for philosophers, and thanks to Plato because through his symposium, this question has acquired its letter of nobility. So, love in a general sense can be defined as expansion of the heart towards a human being. The very fact that these questions of what love is still being asked seems to show that love is part of parcels of man's life, and a philosophy of man is incomplete without a philosophy. So in philosophy, without love is not completely man's life, since loving is greater of all. So without philosophy, we wouldn't try to understand the meaning of our existence. We wouldn't question belief. We wouldn't study the nature of knowledge and truth, and we wouldn't reflect on our freedoms. So since love is part of our existence, if we don't have love in philosophy, we wouldn't know the living of our existence. Many of us have tendency to equate love with romance. So formally, love is tender when it has a romance. So romantic love is deemed to be a higher metaphysical and ethical status than sexual or physical attractiveness alone. The idea of romantic love initially stems from the Platonic tradition that love is a desire for a beauty, a value that transcends the particularities of the physical body. Although there isn't one clear definition, romantic love is most often thought of as a combination of attraction and idealization that can result in form banded of relationship. Love is not just a romantic, but many times it is an act of possessing to another person. People might fight and struggle in the name of love. When we say I love you, has come to mean you are mine and I want you to the things I want. These common words made to many young people, and maybe love has become synonymous with sex. To love another means to be passionately attracted to her and bring her to bed with me. This equation of love with sex has led to the idea that friendship is not love. That when two lovers break up, they may settle down for friendship as if friendship were inferior to love. So, sexual connection is a vital aspect of most romantic relationship, but it's not always as central as people may think. Partners have sex for sex interested reason because it feels they good and can boost their self esteem. And the another reason is for relationship focused reasons. It is enhances closeness and places someone they love. People say love is blind and lovers don't see. This has come to mean that love is attracted to the good qualities of the other. Sometimes this is earned to be extreme of attributing attractive qualities to the other even if they are not there. Love has come to be equated with admiration. So according to Erich Fromm, in his famous book entitled The Art of Loving, mentions that the fact of the popular notion of love at present start when you are falling in love to the person you love. Others don't see. This has come to mean that love is attracted to the good qualities of the other. Sometimes this is earned to the extreme of attributing attractive qualities to other even they are not there. Love has come to be equated with admiration. So according to Erich Fromm in his famous book entitled The Art of Loving, mentions the fact that the popular notion of love at present is falling in love. People have the misconception that there is nothing to learn about love, that love hits a man like lightning. Either the arrow of Cupid strike you and or you are not. With he attribute this popular notion of love.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. My topic is all about loneliness and love. The experience of love begins from the experience of loneliness. The experience of loneliness is basically a human experience because man, as a man, is gifted with self-consciousness. There comes a point in the stage of man's life that he becomes aware that he is different from others, that he is not mere satisfactions of his desires, but he grew up to become an adolescent. His gaze is gradually searches for his own identify. Who am I? Becomes more important than the toys and candies that once were the object of desires. Until this equality will mean oneness and difference, the person will remain lonely amid a crowd. Loneliness is possible even if one is immersed in the crowd, and an attempt to comfort to the group. To overcome this boredom and loneliness, the person many times resorts to drink the drugs of any form of heightened sensation. The effect of this artificially created sensation is to involve one total being some kind of a trance reminiscence to the primitive man's ritual and dance, provides to the lonely and bored person in a temporary escape from reality. Temporary because the happening is transitory and periodical. Love is union under the condition for preserving one's integrity, one's individuality. Love is an active power in man, a power which breaks through the walls which separate men from the fellow men, which unites him with others. Love make him overcome the sense of isolation and separateness. Yet it permits him to himself to return his integrity. In love, the paradox occurs that who being become one and yet remain two. So because man is endowed with self-consciousness, our experience of love starts with the feeling of loneliness. At some point in our lives, we realize how unique we are from other people. We are free to do we want in order to express our happiness. One of the many symptoms of depression is loneliness, because they are unsure of what to do and how to combat it. Some people use drugs and alcohol, but in order to get favorable results, we must strengthen our ties to our families, for barcadas, play, watch, movies, and dance. Keeping ourselves occupied with artistic endeavors is another strategy to combat our sensation of loneliness because it is incredibly.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My report today was the loving encounter. Lone lines ends when one finds or is found by another in what we call a loving encounter. The loving encounter is a meeting of a person. The meeting of a person is not simple, bumping into each other, nor is it simple, an exchange of pleasant remarks, though this could be embodiments of a deeper meeting. The deeper meeting here in love happens when two persons or more who are free to be themselves choose to share themselves. It proposes an I-thought communication of self. This is possible even a group of common commitment, although the meeting of a person may be harder due to the expectation of rule. First of all, the loving encounter necessitates an appeal of the other addressing my subjectivity. The appeal may be embodied in a word, a gesture, or glance. All this can be sign of invitation for me to transcend myself, to break away from my preoccupation with myself. Very often in the daily run of life, I ignore this sign. I am too absorbed or too conscious of the rules I am accustomed to play in daily life as a teacher, as a student, an employer, a present that failed, lose to see the appeal of the other. To be able to see the appeal of the other, I need more than I, more than mine. I need an attitude, heart that has broken away from my self-preoccupation. That's the end of my report about the loving encounter. Do you have ever idea what is the love encounter? Everything in love encounter will be the person of two people that meeting each other. That's called loving encounter. Thank you.